Hello, I'm Lily Duval, sitting here today with Steve Maio, our town administrator, and I will be interviewing him. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here with the Kids Club at WCAT.
So I have a few questions for you here today. How long have you worked as the town administrator?
A little bit more than 9 years, roughly 9 years.
And why did you decide to?
Oh, why did I decide to? Some days that's a very good question. But in general, I think it is, first of all, I love the town of Wakefield, and I think it really is something that allows me to combine everything that I think I have an ability to do. Work with people, numbers, I have a legal background, a banking background, and I really decided that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And so 9 years ago, I made the switch.
So what do you like to do in your spare time?
In my spare time, recently I just started gardening, believe it or not. And I bought some raised beds and put them together, and I've got a pretty good crop going, I think. We'll see what happens. Tomatoes and zucchini, and it really is very kind of therapeutic for me. But mainly, other than that, really spending time with family.
If you had to choose a favorite plant, which would your
A favorite plant?
Yeah.
Tomatoes. Exactly.
How do you manage to keep up with all of your work?
You know what? I have a really good staff from top to bottom, but the way that I really manage to keep up with it is that I don't get too high, I don't get too low, I don't get excited, I don't get upset. Just really try to grind everything away and try to think about everything and do it. But it also means that I'm working, Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, evenings, just trying to keep everything on an even keel. So it's a lot of work, but it's really a labor of love, so it's okay.
What is your life like at home?
What is my life like at home? Boy, oh boy, we have 3 boys, 2 of which who are grown up and out of the house. One is married, and I have a grandchild, 2-year-old grandchild, Stevie Maio, so he's over quite often, and that's really a lot of fun. I have, my other son is in the Coast Guard, so he's not around much. I have a 21-year-old, or he'll be 22 this summer, so he's at college. And my wife, Jean, and I. Jean's a teacher, so she's doing a lot of homework, correcting and things at night. So, when we are home, it's kind of quiet unless the kids are there. So it is quiet. But we like music. We like gardening. I like to cook. Is another thing that I like to do. So that's basically what we do at home.
What's your favorite memory with them?
With whom?
With your family.
Oh, with my family. Oh boy. I would have to say that everyone says that it's whenever your child are born or your children are born. I've got to say that my favorite memories are Christmas mornings. And we always have a very nice Christmas morning with the fire in the fireplace. And, when the kids were little, that was great. And now they're a little bit older, and they come back with their spouses or their fiancés. And I have to say Christmas morning and Christmas Day is just a very special time in our house.
What's your favorite type of music?
Oh, boy. I'm going to tell you that my favorite song, okay, is the song Brandy by Looking Glass. And a lot of people make fun of me because I like to sing it. I won't sing it here today, but I do like to sing it. I've been known to sing it in some of the local places in town, so if you're lucky enough to hear me, or unlucky enough to hear me, I should say. But I'd say I like a lot of different musics. I like country. I like basically anything from the 1970s when ancient people like me were growing up. So I like Steely Dan a lot, the band Steely Dan. So I'm pretty good on everything. Not a big opera fan, I gotta say. Other than that, I probably like pretty much everything.
Why do you like country? Does it bring back good memories?
It brings back memories. Actually, my kids introduced me to country music. They got very much into it. Actually, at the Coast Guard Academy, my son got really into it there. But I think a lot of country songs have a really good message. It's about perseverance and about America. My wife will say that the melody and the beat is usually pretty simple. Doesn't think I can handle music that's a little bit complicated, so she'll say that too. But I think it's really the message and the way it makes you feel. I mean, think of Zach Brown Band, Florida Georgia Line, bands like that. Really, really good messages.
Have you ever been to their concerts?
I have. I've seen Zach Brown 3 times in concert, and I just saw Florida Georgia Line a couple of weeks ago at Fenway Park.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you could have any other job, what would it be?
If I could have any other job, what would it be? Oh, I would have to say if I could have any other job, I think I would like to teach, high school history, government, economics, something like that.
Is that because your wife teaches, or would you just like to do that
No,
for
it's not
fun?
because my wife teaches at all. It's something that I'd like to do. I like working with people, so I think that's the one thing I would do.
What do you do to improve our town and society?
Oh boy, that's a lot. I certainly try to find balance, okay, and I try to make things, in my mind, a little bit better every day. That's kind of what we talk about here, but sometimes that's difficult because not everybody agrees on what is an improvement. Some people think that, let's take the new Galvin School, for instance. Great improvement for our town, and it was needed. Not everybody agreed. Most people did, thank God. So what I try to do is try to look at what we can do together as a society, collectively, what we can do to work together, and what really will make the town better. And you might say, well, maybe that's new sidewalks, maybe that's cleaning up the lake, maybe that's doing new turf fields, what have you. Maybe that's a hockey rink that we've been talking about doing. Maybe it's paving the roads, making them better. Maybe it's the beautiful flowers and the plants downtown. So we try to do all of those things to make things a little bit better in town. But like anything else, you can't spend all your money when you go to on candy, right? And we can't spend all of our town money on just flowers and things like that. So it's really trying to achieve a balance for most people.
Why do you like Wakefield so much?
Oh, why do I like Wakefield so much? I went to school here, went to the Hurd School, went to grammar school, junior high, high school. I think it gave me a great base. Went off to college, came back. My wife is from here. I think then we had 3 kids here. It gave our kids a great base and a great education, and really has a real sense of community. I think Wakefield is one of those places that people stay. And when I talk with other towns, a lot of people move into other towns and then move out. But Wakefield is a town where a lot of people grow up here and stay, and I think that's what makes it very special.
So I know we've sort of already talked about this, but what do you think Wakefield really needs?
What do I think Wakefield really needs? We need to make sure that we keep the community vibrant and prosperous and affordable for everybody to live here. And I know that's kind of a highfalutin answers, but let's talk about some things that we do need in specific. I think that we need to address the lake issue, Lake Quantapowhat, to make that a little bit better. I think that we do need to address some of our business community downtown. What can we do to bring in more businesses to make Wakefield more fun, bring in more people? And I think we've tried to do a lot of that with some of the events that we have downtown. You probably have gone to the Holiday Stroll, you've probably gone to Festival Italia, things like that to bring people in downtown. I think we also need to think about what we're going to do with the high school. That's a community discussion we have to have. And I think we have to make sure that this next generation like you that are growing up, that Wakefield is a place where you want to stay and you want to keep your life here. So some high orders that we have, but I think that's what we need to do.
I have one last very important question for you.
Okay.
Do you feed the waterfowl?
I do not feed the waterfowl. I don't. There's a sign there that says don't feed the geese, right? I know some people do. But I have a story about that. I had a woman call me just the other day, just this week, and was actually very upset on the phone. And I want to know what you do with the geese population. I said, well, what we do is we try to move them because they do make a mess, and they're not all that great for the community. We try to move them with either we have dogs that we use to scare them and move them along, or we actually, it's not a cannon or a gun, it's a bang. It moves them around. And she says, well, that's what you do? I said, yeah, that's what we do. She goes, oh, thank goodness, because I was at another community, and what they do is they scoop them up in a net, and they take them somewhere, and then they they have them destroyed. I said, no, 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 we're a little kinder, a little gentler here in Wakefield. But we do try to move them on.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Thank
this
you.
moment.
Thank you. You're going to be a great journalist someday,
Thank
like
you.
Barbara Walters. You can probably know who that is. She's too old. You're going to be on TV. I'll see you on TV in 10, 15 years, and I'll say, I was her first interview.